So welcome back to the Magic Hours. So today we're doing something a little different. Today we are doing a straight reading with Brianna. And so welcome, Brianna. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, I'm excited. So Brianna came to me through a mutual friend, sibling, um, relative. And so I don't know a lot about Brianna. And so we're going to just get into this reading because I don't want to ask too much. I don't want to know too much information. So Brianna, do you have specific questions, or do you want sort of the overall energy of what's around you, what's happening around you? And then we just go. I do like a message from the animals. I do ancestor guidance. So just so you know, because we don't know each other. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I pull in crystals, animals, ancestors, um, past life influence, color therapy. So I do a lot of things. I have a lot of cards here.
Yeah. So I definitely would like something a little bit directed towards um, connecting more with my ancestors,
Okay.
and just also like been thinking a lot about like past lives or just
Okay.
not even
Okay.
just past lives but lives in general.
Okay, cute, cute. So, what I'm feeling like would be helpful is like actually a way for you to strengthen your ancestral connection. So we'll start with ancestor guidance, and then we'll move into like how you can strengthen your relationship with them. How does that sound?
Okay, yeah, cool.
All right. And if you have another specific question after that, we'll get into that. So the first thing we need to do is sync our energy. So the way we're going to do that is I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to close my eyes. And I just invite you to take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing the central nervous system to be very, very calm. And what I want you to do is see, sense, or imagine that there is a window to your right. And I want you to look to the right and look out that window and just see, sense, or imagine that there's some blue, beautiful blue sky and white, puffy clouds. And you're going to just follow those clouds with your gaze. And you're going to follow those clouds and follow those clouds and follow those clouds till you find yourself on a bridge, a wooden bridge. And you're not alone on those bridges, on that bridge. Your spirit guide is with you. My spirit guide is there. I am there as well. We're standing across from each other on the bridge. And even if you can't see it, I want you to just imagine or sense this meeting of spirits, of souls. And I just invite you to say your name, full name, out loud 3 times right now.
Brianna Nicole Cison Gilmore. Brianna Nicole Cison Gilmore. Brianna Nicole Cison Gilmore.
And we just invite Brianna Nicole Cecil Gilmore's most enlightened ancestors and spirit guides into this conversation to provide them with the inspiration, confirmation, and information that they're looking for. And we only want the highest energy here. We only accept the highest energy here. We only accept energy and messages that will take us where we want to go energetically and raise our frequency. Zoe flowers, Zoe flowers, Zoe flowers. And I invite my most enlightened ancestors and spirit guides into this conversation to ensure that I'm a clear channel for information to give Brianna the information, inspiration, and confirmation that they are looking for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Part of us will stay on this bridge. Part of us will be here in present time. So, Brianna, I just invite you to come back into present time, opening up your eyes. And when we close, we will go back to that bridge and we will close the way we need to close. What are your preferred gender pronouns, please?
They, them.
They, them. Oh, look at me with the they, yes, damn. Look at she done already started with the okay. So I love when spirits like just ask for confirmation. I love it. Okay. I'm excitable. So it's interesting. So we're digging into this ancestral energy. However, and also we are starting with color therapy. So color therapy is like, what can you wear? What can you wear to connect, yes, to your ancestors more? And I love this. So we have orange here. So more orange. And you know what? Also, you could also eat more fruits, eat more oranges. So there is a need for more hydration for you. Like less salt and things like that for a while, like much more water, much more oranges. I don't know how you feel about bananas. I am not a banana girl, although I know they're so good for you. So even like bananas and things like that, like in smoothies and things. I don't know if you're a dairy girl, or dairy person, sorry, but if you are, that might be something that you want to lay off of a little bit. These might also be messages that you've already been getting around, like, oh, you can do these things to like help with your diet, etc. Right? And then maybe things that you're not actually listening to 100%. So know that it is your people talking to you, okay? And also, so they're also saying, don't be afraid of your spirituality. Don't be afraid of, like your shadow side. It's interesting about this shadow because we are in. Do you know about the nodes? I don't even know what you know about astrology. Oh, good. You know about the nodes? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so you know that we are in the Scorpio North Node right now.
Okay.
Collectively. Oh my God. This is what I'm talking about. So we're talking about Scorpio, and we know Scorpio is all about transformation, death, rebirth, the things of the eighth house. We love it. Just said we are in the Scorpio North Node. So because you know about nodes, okay, but people who are listening might not. So for people who don't know, I like to think of the North Node as GPS, and I like to think of the South Node as the rear view mirror, right? So the North Node is like where we're going in life, where we're going. So collectively, we are in a Scorpio North Node. That's where we are. So what does that mean? That means delve into those. I was thinking delve into the shadow side, delve into the things of Scorpio. And what do we get? The bat. A rebirth is assured. This also makes, wow. And look at the orange in here. Look at the orange and the orange. Brittany, what do you know about chakras? You're not Brittany, you're Brianna. Who's talking about me named Brittany? Who is talking about me? Okay. What do you know about chakras?
They're where they are placed in our body and how they connect us from our grounding to our higher self.
Yep.
Sometimes they're blocked, and have been thinking a lot about that lately as well.
Well, here we go, right? It's like, so we've got a lot of things happening here. We have got the sacral chakra, which is associated with this color orange. We know that the sacral chakra is about what? Birth, rebirth, right? Because it's associated with sex, pleasure, art. The reason I stopped you when I asked you in the beginning before the recording started about your art was because one, I didn't want you to tell me anything. I wanted to see what was going to come up in the reading, but also the way you hesitated when you were like, I'm kind of, nah, right? And so it's like, go into your art. If the sacral chakra is, the ancestors are saying, this is ideation here. The ancestors are saying, don't be blocked the way we were blocked. Don't do the things that we did. You know, Dr. Wayne Dyer, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but one of the things he said was don't die. He's like a very famous New Age person, older gentleman. Well, he was. And one of the things he said was don't die with your music still in you. And so it's like allow yourself to blossom, allow yourself to bloom, allow yourself to be reborn. So we also have number 5 here for this card, which in 5 in numerology is freedom. So it's like allow yourself to be free, to show yourself. But also, this bat is hung upside down. So this is also giving me very much hangman vibes from the tarot. I love that you're nodding your head so you know about tarot as well. So it's like pull back and look at things from a different perspective. Maybe even questioning the things that we told you were true because we definitely gave you misinformation. Messages about how you are in the world. There was information that we did not have, that we did not have access to. Allow yourself to be free. Questions for me?
I guess just when I'm in these spaces, I'm always wondering, because my ancestry is pretty everywhere.
Okay.
I just wonder which sides are speaking the loudest, or um, the most present with me.
What I'm hearing is it doesn't matter that you are trying to put boundaries around things that are boundless, that at the end of the day, it's like, it's not that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. They're like, trust the messages. When you get into, oh, I get it. When you get into the moon deck, okay, fine. When you get into who's speaking, da 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 da, it's like it's very human, and it's like it's more important for you to move and be peaceful with what is, if that makes sense. But we're going to delve into it because we're going to see what we can get. But understand that that is a human longing. It is a human longing for connection and acceptance, actually, and validation. And so when you do that, you're grasping at straws.
Yep, that makes sense.
So we will indulge you, but understand that it's not
what it's about.
We have growth in reverse. It's not going to help you grow to know where the messages are coming from, right? Cleanse yourself of these false boundaries and attachments. But let's answer the question. Let's see if we, yeah. Can you tell us, maybe this is the wrong deck. A region. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. So from the past life deck, we have unrequited love, persecution, and inquisition. So this isn't telling us where, but it is giving us a sense of, I would say, the energy, the memory, the resonance, the it's not the place, but it's like the time period. The time period. So when I see like persecution, inquisition, this gives me very much like it could be witch trials, it could be Spanish Inquisition. Um, there's all types of persecution all through our whole history, so it could be anything. But oh, okay. Are you gonna give us a region with this? If you give us a region with this, I know something. That'll be amazing. Region, 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 region. This, by the way, is the Green Witch Oracle deck. So maybe they'll tell us like a plant from the region. Okay, we have strawberry agreement. Interesting. I literally have no idea what that means. But it is number 24, and 6 in numerology is family. Let's see. But it's not giving us no time period. There can be no other occupation like gardening if you were to creep up behind someone at their work, you would find them smiling. I have no idea what that means. Oracle meaning working with others will bring a huge boost for you at this moment. And if you're thinking of making an offer in business or even a romantic proposal, it should be met with a favorable response. Group work, connection with others, and partnering with like minded individuals and entities are all areas that Strawberry works with. Oh, interesting. Inability to share or wanting to win at all costs will be highly detrimental. Okay, so what this is feeling like to me is somehow incorporated because we have agreement here and because we're asking about ancestors. There's something about this strawberry, like bringing strawberry. It's like maybe giving offerings to your ancestors actually would help to strengthen the connection.
Yes.
Wow. What else do we have? I need some clarification on this unrequited love, persecution, and inquisition. Wow. Beginnings is the first thing that came up when I asked for unrequited love, persecution, and inquisition. So there's something here about that's the beginnings. That's like the beginnings of your ancestry, at least because I believe in reincarnation, so I believe that we were many things, which is why I don't really get that caught up in like lineage of this time. But this is interesting because the beginnings of the lineage had to do with persecution, inquisition, and unrequited love. So perhaps that tells you something about the lineage, if there was persecution and inquisition in that family line, particularly of the women. Anything else about oh so perhaps because these are both women. So it's the matrilineal side.
Yeah.
Oh.
When you spoke of Spanish Inquisition, also, my mother's side is Filipino, and that whole history of.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Anything else y'all want us to know? And this agreement here, okay. So, there is a belief that I subscribe to that we choose our families, we go into agreements about how we want to experience life. We choose our bodies, we choose the people in our life, the souls we reincarnate with. So that's the other thing that they want you to understand. And perhaps, yeah, this is another reason why they don't want you to get too caught up in other things. They want you to understand that we all make agreements. And it's also important for me. So it says magical correspondences of strawberry, love offerings, luck, attraction, and success. So 100% this strawberry business, giving as offerings to your ancestors, absolutely. And then the deities are Mother Mary, Freya, Aphrodite, Venus, my favorite. Like these are all four of my favorite deities. So Freya is the Norse goddess, you know?
A little bit.
Okay. Tell me, you tell me.
I just know that I think she's like Thor's mother or something like that.
Earth Mother, you say?
I know. I just know that like mother. I'd say mother. Like
Well, kind of.
no.
But
Oh.
she's more about sexuality, sensuality, but she's also the goddess of warfare. So then we have Aphrodite, which is also love, Aphrodite, which is also
Mhm.
love, and then Venus, the rulers of Libra and Taurus, and also love, and also warfare. So it's interesting that we have Venus and Freya here, who are sensuality, sexuality, but also warfare. So you can work with any of those deities for yourself, for your own luck, attraction, and success. The celestial planet that Strawberry is connected to is Venus. And then, of course, I already said that it rules Libra. So I don't know if you have Libra somewhere prominent in your chart, either sun, moon, rising, or maybe some of your houses. Um, do you know that?
Um, Not Libra. I do have Taurus.
Okay.
I have a Taurus moon in my 12th
Okay.
house.
Okay. The house of, okay, so that's interesting. So with the 12th house is the house of illusion. It can be the house of self undoing. So you definitely want to make sure around like spending and things like that, because Taurus goes more into that luxury side of Venus. So also like food and yeah, so you just want to probably watch that a little bit with that Taurus in the 12th house. Taurus is also very much concerned about security. So, being that it's ruled by the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, all which is like the sign of illusion and things like that. You also just want to make sure that you're like reading the fine print on contracts and things like that, and that you're seeing things for how they really are. Does that make sense? And then also just look for where Libra is in your chart too. All right. That was a lot
Yeah.
in the first 28 minutes.
Um,
Yes.
I'm just saying, like I don't know why I keep doing this because I know it's a very human thing, but
Yeah.
searching for this like validation, constant confirmations of things that I kind of like already know.
Yeah.
Um, just the idea about it, the ancestry. Not that it doesn't matter, but it's not the focus, and about leaving
Hmm.
offerings and stuff like that. I don't know.
It's, you know what? So
I think my left brain gets too active, and I'm like, and then I just question everything.
of course, and we want to know. We want to know who we're connected to. We want to know where we come from, and we want to know what's influencing us. So I get that. Um, let's ask about how to reconcile, or how to, since we have the strawberry, we have that Libra there. Um, how can we bring the two sides together. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
How can we address the need for validation?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
what tools can we use to help you be okay with not having all of the answers and all of the validation?
Yeah. I think that's a good one.
I'm hearing a spiritual bath, a spiritual bath, a spiritual bath. Okay, spiritual bath.
Spiritual
Great.
bath.
So, what will we put around or in this spiritual bath? What will we put in or around this spiritual bath? We have indigo, enhance. Now, that's interesting. What else do we have? Anything? Okay, let's go to a crystal. Indigo. How people gonna get indigo? How are people gonna get indigo? I don't know. I don't know. Don't ask me. What else? What else can we put around this spiritual bath? What else? What else? What else? Crystal. Iolite. Shift your money mindset. Interesting. What else? This is a spiritual bath to help to bring things together. We have aventurine. There's a lot here about luck, Brianna. The strawberry is good for luck. We have this indigo for enhancing. We have this shifting your money mindset. We have this aventurine, which is, they say here, creating your own luck. But I use aventurine as a heart chakra crystal to help me discern the things of the heart. Um, we have angel aura quartz, lighten up. And we have malachite, it's time to transform. So there's a lot here about luck and transformation. And so, even though me, as Zoe, was like, oh, let's focus on bringing things together, Spirit's like, no, we're going to focus on luck and abundance and this rebirth that's happening. That works for me. So, I have another herb deck. Yeah, we don't need it. Okay, we don't need it. We don't need it. No, we don't need it. So, this indigo business,
Mm-hmm.
hang on. Let's see what this book says. So, viewers, just so you know, or listeners, what I'm doing is I'm looking for my book that goes with this particular herb. So I can see, like, I know that, and this is really interesting. So I don't know about your other lineage, but one of the things about indigo is they brought many African people during the transatlantic slave trade to like parts of the South to because they were known for indigo. And so there were parts of the South where they were like making that color, that dye, and there was like indigo plantations.
Oh.
Um, so I find that to be interesting. Indigo was also my first fake name when I used to go to the club. No, and people would be like, "What's your
What's your
name?" I'd be
name?
like, "Indigo, Indigo, it's Indigo." It's all true. Okay, so let's see what this has to say about indigo. Okay, The beautiful but toxic plant is native to much of the northern hemisphere and has also been introduced well beyond its natural range. It can be found growing wild at the borders of woods, along streams, or in open meadows. Native American tribes have made use of the plant for centuries for a variety of purposes, most commonly used as blue dye. The roots can also be made into teas as a purgative or to treat toothache and nausea. Oh, okay, so you can, I guess, but it says it's toxic. So how you though it reportedly also causes nausea, so perhaps it is best used in a non digestible way. One of the curious uses for this plant is to keep flies away from horses or livestock, blah, 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 blah. You can find this plant in many parts of the world, though it is perhaps easiest to see it in the wild in North America or in Asia. Native American. Hmm, hmm.
Hmm.
Native Americans once used indigo as a primary source of blue dye, a practice that was later adopted by the industrial textile industry. Love the way they left out slavery in there. I just love the way the girls just left it out. All denim was at one point dyed with indigo, though it is now done with a synthetic color. So what this makes me feel like is like you can get a blue candle
Okay.
and put around the bath, a deep blue candle. Blue is also calming. I'm going to keep reading this because this is a brand new deck, so I find it
Yeah,
interesting.
for sure.
But you can, yeah, you can use a blue candle, but there's also, there are these blue, there are these blue cubes that people use in Ifa. Are you familiar with Ifa at all? Or you
No.
have like the Ifa religion? But there's like these cubes that we put in baths. There's like a white bath and there's like a blue bath. So I'm wondering if this is what we're talking about. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
Indigo's virtue as a coloring agent leads us to the oracle property enhance. We are often inclined to discard or reject things that are less exciting or remarkable than we would like. Even when judging ourselves, we tend only to value what is most special, often ignoring the solid, steadfast characteristics that make us functional and of value in our communities. Shifting your perspective or routine can bring new life to relationships, situations, and thought patterns. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that a rebirth, a
Yeah.
transformation that is in line with the North Node in Scorpio that we were talking about? Hmm. Before discarding something, try changing the way you think about it. There we go. When I was talking about bringing those two sides of the lineage together. So, changing the way you think about your family, your lineage. Simple changes can make a world of difference when you are in a funk or feeling creatively blocked. And there's that creativity. Maybe that means a new coat of paint, an out of date, ordinary date night, or something as simple as tidying up, setting out a vase of flowers. I love it. So I would say, I love to give homework. Finding out more about this indigo, bringing this into your, again,
Okay.
bath with a blue candle, this iolite, shifting your money mindset. They're saying this is not something I don't even know like where this is. So I don't even know where you would find this.
Find it.
Yeah, or you can, but it's like not a necessity. The aventurine, though, much easier to find, easy to get your hands on, as is malachite and angel aura quartz. These are things that you can put around the bath. If you can get the iolite, great. If not, you don't have to. What are you in near a major metropolitan city or?
Yeah, I'm in Long Island. I'm in New
Oh,
York.
oh, you in my, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you know that you can go to Namaste on 14th Street in
Yeah.
Manhattan. Um, there's also a place in Brooklyn. I'm in Bed-Stuy. There's a place in like East New York. I think it's called like Cat's Eye or something now. It's
Okay.
something with a cat. But anyway, you're in New York. You'll be able to find malachite in
Yeah.
aventurine, especially at Namaste Books. Have you been to Namaste Books?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, downtown. Downtown.
Okay.
Yeah,
Noted.
14th Street. It's huge now. Um, questions.
Um questions?
Or comment.
I actually do have a venture. I
Oh, good.
I usually sleep with it actually. Um I've just I travel a lot, so I put crystals like sort of here and there, but that's like
Okay.
something that I kind of just like keep on me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I I'm definitely very excited about this. It's all making, like I said, I feel like these are things that I, especially when you said that thing about no only noticing what's special. Uh, I think I definitely put too much pressure on like these magnificent signs when I know that blessings are an everyday thing. That blessings are don't always come in like this giant box wrapped in a bow, essentially.
Okay. So, deep breath.
Okay.
As you were talking, I put in blue cube for spiritual bathing because I just legit could not remember. How about it says how to use indigo, anil, and camphor cubes for dream recall? First of all, indigo balls, also known as anil, have various types of uses for ritual. I have goosebumps. I love when I can still get goosebumps. So it says, um, okay, also known as anil in Spanish, they have various types of uses for ritual. It can be used as a floor wash. That's right. Yep. That's what I used it for. An aura wash to absorb negative vibrations, clarify, purify, as well as for protection against the evil eye, attract luck, and to raise spiritual vibration. In my upbringings, these types of rituals are performed to dispel negative energy we may pick up from people and places, or energies left in our homes, or worse, those low energies we cultivate as such as our own hate, negative self-talk, etc. So then it says you'd often hear the elders say tienes que darte una limpieza, so you need a cleansing, or necesita un despojo, you need to dispose of those energies. We are magnetic beings and attract things to us, so keeping a regular cleansing is key to progress, especially when elevating
Mm.
spiritually. So we started out this
Wow.
conversation
Wow.
asking about the ancestors, how you can connect to them, and what their message is. And then we have this thing about like who do I listen to and this and that. And so when they were saying don't get caught up in those things because those are things that clog your senses. So using this indigo is a way to cleanse yourself and raise your vibration so that you can attract the luck, so that you can get your creative juices going and have more clarity. So it says originally copper sulfate, blue stone, was used by African American hoodoo spiritualists, witch doctors, espiritistas alike. Copper sulfate, however, is highly toxic, and for that reason, many began using laundry bluing balls as a substitute. Another commonly known replacement, in addition to anil, is a laundry bluing agent such as Reckitt's Blue Laundry Square tablets, which can also be used as a substitute for spiritual purposes. It is not recommended to use copper sulfate, and in no way do I encourage you to use copper sulfate due to its highly toxic properties. So there. Um, so it says anil or Ricketts Crown Blue tablets are much safer, non toxic alternatives that provide the same purpose and effect, which is to turn water blue for ritual. In addition to, we will also be talking about camphor, which can be used for the same purpose. So we're not going to talk about camphor because that didn't come up. But I do use camphor. I burn it and I put it all over the house. So, yes.
No, I was just gonna say, like, that's something kind of big because I've been thinking about how to sort of incorporate or just be not consistent, but you know, have a correct ritual.
Uh-huh.
Um, and you know, I there's lots of online resources, but I'm like highly skeptical of like a lot of places because of like like commodification of like spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually taking this dreaming class, um, and the instructors, you know, talk a lot about how they connect with their ancestors through rituals that they would have performed. And so that's kind of where I've been like, but I don't know what they did. Feeling kind of stuck, like, okay, so then what do I do? And
Yeah.
you know, this bath is an option, but you know, I guess other ways of
Yeah.
navigating that or just
Yeah.
ritual practices in general without
Yeah.
feeling like I'm appropriating something or like I don't know.
Right. 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 So one of the things is the spiritual bath. Do not put those blue cubes in the bath because I do, and I'm not recommending anybody put no blue nothing because I do a lot of things, okay, as practice. So I don't want to advocate that you do what I do, but what you can do is get those blue cubes or those circles, and you can put them around as part of your ritual. Okay, so actually putting them by the window, that's interesting. So you could put some by the window, you could put some by the door, you could put some in the bathroom, but not in your water.
Okay.
And don't do what I did and bathe in toxic things. Okay.
Noted.
Yeah, don't do that. Nobody do that. So you can do that. So blue candle, cubes around with the understanding that that was the first thing that came up. So this is connected right here, right, to your folks. Because it said, we asked, how do we connect to them? We connect to them through this indigo. So you don't have to worry about appropriation because it came up. And I didn't even know about like the Native American, the this, the that, the Asia, da 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 da. I read it in the
Mm-hmm.
book. So we're putting things, we're like putting the pieces together as we go.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't have to worry about appropriation. Huh. And I also just heard everything belongs to you. So being more comfortable with your dominion, what do I mean by that? When I first started doing quote unquote channeling for people, I went to take a shower and I was supposed to read for this guy. He was Haitian and he was coming the next day to get his reading. His grandmother came in when I was in the shower, like the energy of her. I don't see things, but
Yeah.
I see in my mind's eye and I hear she had a lot of things to say about this person. That freaked me out. I was like, I don't want anybody showing up like that. Like, this is not the Long Island medium. Like, I don't want to be at the
Yeah.
store and
Yeah.
we ain't doing that. So I put parameters. So Spirit was like, you have dominion about how you're contacted. So some people don't believe that. I chose to believe it. So I was like, okay, well, when I do this, that means the door is open. When I do this specific act, that means the door is closed. So when people would come to me and they would sit and when we could see people face to face, they would come into my apartment and I would do a very specific ritual and that would mean that the door was open for communication. Just like you and I did. We went to the bridge, part of us is still there, ba 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 ba. At the end, we're going to come off the bridge and then the door will be closed. Right. So we have a certain amount of dominion. So the message for you is to become comfortable with the dominion that you do have over your life. So while you may not be able to connect all of the pieces that you want to connect right now, you do have dominion over taking a spiritual bath, finding a way to connect to your ancestors. As a matter of fact, that spiritual bath, that water, and I had also heard nature in the beginning, and I didn't say that, I'm saying it now. That's how you connect to them. You might also want to like look at this indigo thing and see if there's some kind of something.
Okay. Yeah. Trail.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hmm. Yeah. So we have the crystal. So we have the crystals. That's another way to connect. We have the bath. That's a way to connect. We have the wearing orange, working on the sacral chakra. That's a way to connect. So that's, I think, four
Or
ways to connect. And four is foundation. Four is a magic number. That's good. Questions for me?
um, I do have another question, but it's
I
kind
love
of
it. Okay.
it's starting to like digress a little bit from this topic, if
Okay.
that's okay.
Of course.
Um, so connecting with not just ancestors, but other loved ones who have
Okay.
transitioned.
Okay.
Um, and I guess like I technically are not that I already have my answer, but the whole idea of like agreement. I've been very anxious in my
Okay.
like physical body about reincarnating with like a partner that I have lost.
Okay.
And I feel like that anxiety is troubling me in my material day.
Okay.
Um, and I just don't think having that constant worry and mindset is very healthy.
Okay.
um, so, and yeah, it goes back to the whole idea of like validation and confirmation. Uh, but it's
Mhm.
very recent, so I'm very like what's the word? I'm anxious about doing everything right so that I have the choice when the time comes.
Oh. So what's your question?
Do I will it happen? Like are they listening? Are they waiting for me? Like this
Oh,
and
that's
I know that
nice.
yeah.
That's a nice question.
Yeah.
How long ago was the passing?
August.
That's a little too soon for me to feel comfortable connecting to.
Okay.
So I think that it's better for us to connect to your higher self for that.
Okay.
About the best course of a couple things. I need to write this down. Okay. So, um, best course of action slash like thought process around this. Um,
Can I just ask, is it like your about your comfortable
yeah,
level? Is it
yeah, yeah,
because
of
of
course.
their is it because it's like they're not fully adjusted and that makes it difficult?
Yeah, I don't like to embrace, hang on, embrace and release. I personally don't like to tap into energies until some significant time has passed because I do believe that they still are like adjusting and I don't want to pull on that energy because I feel like when we pull on that energy that also can interfere with their
Where they go.
transcendence.
Yeah.
Like us holding on to them. It's like, oh, wait, can I ask this? Oh, wait, even though I know on YouTube, it's like as soon as people pass, they're like, oh, let me tap into this. Da, 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 da. For me, it's a no.
I like that you
Yeah.
have that boundary.
Yeah. Cause it's like, let me rest. I just got here. Like, I mean, I guess there's just so many things we don't know. But for me, in my teaching a long time ago, it's like, from what I understand, it takes a while. Like, my father didn't come to me for years after he passed. Years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I don't tap into that energy. But
Yeah.
again, but good.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I I see them regularly
Oh,
in my
nice.
dreams, and
Yeah.
uh, just that's another thing that I feel guilty about having this selfish desire for them to like be here, to not go anywhere just yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also because when they were alive, it's something that we talked about a lot together, just sort of formulating like a view on like what's beyond. um and I'm often like joking, like damn, like you found out before me, and I'm also like,
Mm,
yeah, but
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, no, but I feel like it's not, don't beat yourself up about that longing. That all makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. And so let's look at a best course of action and like a thought process around this. They meaning your spirit guides, your most enlightened ancestors. Dang, look at that. There's that blue again. Wow. And we have the parrot. Let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It is time to embrace who you really are.
And that blue.
And this one too. The bluebird. You are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. So there's lots of blue around you. I'll tell you that. I see even your background there is blue. And so we know blue is like super calming. And so it's like stay in peace. But I also think, again, just bringing more blue in, wearing blue. I mean, that is the best course of action and thought process. And be here now is what your guides are also saying. Be here now.
So hard, I know. It's so hard for me to that's something I'm really trying to work on, is just feeling more grounded, or
Mhm.
because as also like as a Pisces, I'm very like in my
Yeah,
head, very dreamy,
yeah,
always trying to feel a little disembodied, and
yeah.
I know that that's not.
No,
Yeah,
I do
I'm
that
here
too.
now, and
I do it
yeah.
too. Yeah, it's fun. It's like, oh yes, yeah, let's do it. Like, yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
Right. And also though, we've already said like Pisces it's the place of illusion. So we don't want to be so, and then oh my goodness, for you, you've got this Taurus in the 12th, and then you've got this Pisces sun. So it's like I'm grounded. No, I'm out. No, I'm in my body. No, I'm on Mars. So it's like being grounded, being here now as advice for a Pisces. I mean, listen, just take it with a grain of salt. I mean, come on. But
Literally.
right? It's like, yeah, right. Um but what I would say is maybe printing a picture of a bluebird or a parrot and working with this medicine, putting this somewhere where you'll see it, to remind you of the present moment, to remind you of the present time, right? And understanding that, yeah, we can go too far in our other realms.
Yeah.
And here is, again, the only place that you have control over. Here is where you have, well, that's not really true. Here is where you have dominion, obviously coupled with what you can do in the dream time. Do you want to talk about the dream world?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if there's something you can do. So we're going to go to the Starseed deck. And
Okay.
let's see if there's like an affirmation or something that you can like take into the dream time so that, because there are some answers that you're not going to get on, in this way, but perhaps you can get some answers in your dreams.
Yeah, that's dreams have always been my compass kind of.
Yeah, let's do that. So it's like, okay, let's see. So the question is, they want you to relax in your dream time. So the question can't be about work, but it's like, ah, how, what can Brianna take into the dream time so that they experience a sense of peace? That was easy. Jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. So this is all about also change. So
Jump
before you
in.
go to bed, writing down on a piece of paper, how can I be okay with change? Transformation. Let's say transformation. You Pisces, you like that better. How can I how can I be okay with transformation? How can I welcome transformation in the present time when I'm walking around every day? Does that make sense? So just inviting your folks in to help you with that at night. What else? What else can we do in the dream time? What else can Brianna do in the dream time? Oh, that's nice. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So you can also call in your spirit guides and your ancestors to assist you at night while you're dreaming. So, if there are things that you want to accomplish that you don't feel like you can do in the daytime, ask them to help you at night. Even if it's like bringing more people into your life, like in present time, like a new friend group, people to work on creative projects with, people to work with, people that will help you realize and actualize your dream. And I would say, this is cute. Taking that blue, one of those blue cubes or balls or however we come, the anil, ANIL, um, and putting that in some water and putting that by your bed
By my bed.
so that anything that's blocking, like any low energies, heavy energies, can be absorbed in that water and your soul family can actually do what they need to do. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, that feels good.
It does.
Heather, anything else for me?
Um, hmm. I guess the ways I can help my uh, I put help in like brackets maybe. I don't
Okay.
know if that's the right word, but
Okay.
um my brothers,
Okay.
um one of them right now I think is like going through a tough time, and he doesn't often share what's going on.
Okay.
And he's, mid- high school, middle school is a tough time in general.
Okay.
But he's also like has like an health issue going on that we don't really know exactly what it is. And I'm just worried about him, and how he's holding things.
Okay. So let's do it. Let's take a deep breath together in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you don't have to say his name, but just do me a favor and like just think about his name over and over again. Think about him, how he feels, what he like reminds you of. Just like keep him in your thoughts. And Spirit, please give us a message for Brianna with regards to their brother. Thank you. I cannot believe this. You can open your eyes. This literally came out again. The bat spirit.
Wow.
So understanding that a rebirth is assured. Now, when you first started talking, what I heard was being the example is like the best thing you can do. Being the example of spirituality, of integrity, of walking in your truth. And then boom, we get this card out the deck. Again, I'm going to ask for another one. Can we get something else? So understanding though that a rebirth is here. It's possible for him. But it's like focusing on yourself is the best thing you can do for anybody that you love. No. No. All right. Brianna's brother. Whoa. Holy smokes. Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Badger spirit. Be fearless and bold. And we have the 4 again, which is the number of foundation. Rebirth is assured. Be fearless and bold. So, focusing again on being your boldest self and encouraging him to be his boldest self, and also not being afraid to like ask him like hard questions, like not hard questions, but like probing
Thoughtful.
questions, like allowing him to be vulnerable, like showing him that it's okay for him to be vulnerable. And maybe that's something you're doing already, but that is important. And then we have Trust the Great Mystery with one of my animales, which is the whale. The whale is the keeper of all knowledge, it is the librarian, the place of deep secrets. Oh, so I'm also hearing like introducing like animal medicine to him.
Hmm. What does that mean?
Like like cards and like talking to him about maybe like what animal does he feel drawn to, and then encouraging him to find out about that and just like subtly teaching him to work with ant medicine, like, oh, you know that you can like put a picture of a bat, and I would say like get a picture of a bat now since this is the second time that it came out, and put that with your parrot and your bluebird,
Mm-hmm.
um a bat that resonates with you and that you can call on, and just like start introducing him to the natural world, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
going for walks in nature, going to the park or whatever. If that's is that something that he's interested in?
Um, Not quite, but
Yeah.
it's something I'm interested in.
Okay,
So,
good. Okay, that was going to be my next question. Yeah, like bringing him into your world a little bit more and just like opening up his eyes. And then we have 65 here. 60, this is card number 65. So, of course, in numerology, that would be 11. And then we reduce that down to a 2, 1 plus 1. And so that is partnership there. So, like partnering with him and even saying, like, even though things are hard right now, we do have to trust that things are working out the way they should. And then we have turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. So also being patient with him, encouraging him to be patient as well.
Mm.
And here's this parrot again. Watch your words. So again, being very gentle, very slow, not rushing him in any way. This is a lot of cards. Skunk spirit, know your worth. So that's also for you. The more you know your worth, the more you will be able to encourage him to know his worth. And then number 22, magic number, dragonfly spirit, truth transcends illusion. So this is like you showing up in your own reading here, um, with this transcendence and this illusion. So also being truthful. Dragonfly can be seen. This is like my ancestral messenger, the dragonfly. So maybe also subtly introducing like some conversations about ancestry. Maybe you can make an ancestor altar.
I've been
I don't
trying.
know. Oh, okay, okay, you are. Okay, good, good. It can be very low key. It can just be like water, fire, tobacco, alcohol, period. It doesn't have to be like I'm hearing exuberant or fancy or the best.
Mm,
It
yeah.
just has to be a place where you can sit and you can have your actual blood relatives on the altar, but you can also have people that you just feel very connected to on the altar who may not be in your bloodline, right? And again, it's just a place where you're lifting people up. And that could be something that you introduce to him as well, subtly, so as not to freak him out. And then you have eagle spirit, which is the last one. And it says spirit has your back. So for me, in my spiritual practice, then we have 23-5 again. So that's freedom. So we work with the eagle in my practice to help us be seen as a leader in our field. So this eagle spirit here is not just understanding spirit has your back, like that's cute, but it's like more of understanding that, you can be a leader, you can rise to the occasion. Whenever I work with eagle, also, it's again seeing things from a higher perspective. So perhaps talking to him about the fact that high school is a transition period. Everything doesn't end in high school. In fact, it can be just the beginning to something else. So also helping him to see things from a higher perspective. And the more that you work on your spiritual consistency, your cleansing, and things like that, the better you will be able to be an example of that. Of seeing things from a higher perspective. What about your other brother?
Um, he is. He's so lively, creative, lots of energy.
Okay.
But I feel like most kids these days, they're putting that energy towards like the screen.
Yeah,
And
for
it's
sure.
really warping him in a way, with like behavioral issues. Like it's just, he gets so angry. He gets like tunnel vision angry, and he's like 8,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I worry that he's gonna carry that sort of tendency. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I
Okay.
just want them to be. I think so. This is like a sort of like a part of it, because this stuff I try and talk about it with my mom, um, because I feel like that side of my family, at least that side of my immediate family, um, are very clouded, or that they don't see the world like, the way that I do, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't inherently bad, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I worry about their soul their soul a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing is their journey, even though they are your blood. And
Right.
it's hard to watch, and sometimes we just have to watch and let them figure it out. Again, recognizing that it's hard. So the message for your other brother, first we're going to start with the Sacred Destiny deck. Oh, that's cute. We like that. We like that. Oh, but you're not going to come out? Okay, that's fine. Um, Thank you. Okay. All right. So things to watch out for. We have community in reverse and we have flow in
Mm.
reverse. So community makes me feel like the crowd. Like even though he's only 8 years old, like just like talking with him about like the importance of having the right people around you. This is like for me and not and going with the flow in reverse. It's like instant gratification, right? So this is like 14, 15, 16, but starting to like plant these roots and seeds now of like making sure your friends are friends that feed into you and like make you feel good about yourself and not like falling into the wrong crowd, right? Like because you're looking for validation or something. And then, maybe like breathing, like maybe introducing like some visualization or some meditation, even though we wouldn't call it meditation, maybe we call it something else. And it doesn't have to be like a get quiet, empty your mind type of
Mhm.
meditation, but it could be like a guided visualization. Maybe taking him on like what could be called a dream journey, where it's like, oh, if you could have anything in the world, how would you get there? Like engage his
Mhm.
creative side. Like, if you could, what's your vision for how you'd like things to be or how you want to feel, and just engage his imagination like that. And then have him close his eyes and be like, oh, who's with you? And that, right? So it's like introducing slowly um, mindfulness without calling it that.
Right.
Nothing else from this deck. I did want to see if there was a crystal that you could gift him with. So a crystal for the other brother, please. Thinking about the other brother, a crystal for the other brother. Spirit, a crystal for the other brother. Wow, the same one.
Oh.
And it's lighting up, and you already said like he gets angry. So
Yeah.
what is your relationship to anger?
It's in progress.
Okay, so right, so okay, well, okay, so that's it. We are the example. We teach what we most need to learn. So it's also like conversations like that. Like, oh, when I was your age, this is how I dealt with things and blah blah blah. So I got us both this crystal because we're both trying to work on our anger. We both need to lighten up a little bit. When's his birthday?
December
December what?
December 15th.
Oh. Well, he gonna be wild. He gonna be a little wild. He's a Sagittarius. I mean, what you expect? What you mean? What you mean? He's a little
He's,
male Sagittarius.
yeah, he's a little nut.
Of course, he's a Sagittarius. So then we definitely want to engage. What's your other brother?
He's December 19th.
Wow, that's a lot of fire, right?
Yeah.
What are their moon and their ascendants?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So we have two Sagittariuses. That's amazing. Um, so you definitely want to introduce that creativity. And it's funny because with the other brother too, I was thinking about like, is he engaged in sports in any way? So it's like movement, like how can you also bring, but it sounds like maybe both of them, like, because they want to be able to channel that fire
Yeah.
into productive ways, right? Like, yeah, yeah, introducing those things. So that's what I have for that. And of course, they're like They're fire, you're water. So whereas you're like, oh, da 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 da, they're like, no, we just want to burn shit up. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, how do we channel?
And then
Plus
you have the
the
two of them together when they're clashing
yeah,
with that. Oh, it's
yeah, and then too the what you call it? What the men got? I can't even. That's a shame. I can't even remember the testosterone.
oh yeah.
I legit just said what do the men have? Wow, that's okay. So so that too, just all the confusion around that, like, and all the craziness in the world and the patriarchy, like, there's a lot happening,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And so, again, just introducing these things subtly, I think will be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you're welcome. So we have like 10 more minutes. Do you have any other questions for me? And viewers, I keep saying viewers like they can see us.
Listeners.
Listeners, at some point it'll be video, but listeners, I hope that you enjoyed this conversation. I hope that you find it edifying. It has been great for me. Brianna, what else do you have?
Um, I I have the question of my my use of marijuana. The
Oh,
balance, trying to find a balance.
okay.
Because on one hand, I know that I it stops me from dreaming. So there's that. But I have also like I have really developed a dependency on it
Okay.
that yeah that I'm trying to work on.
Okay.
And what was the other part? Yeah, and it's also it it kind of grounds me, but then it like kind of it, like makes me go places. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
What do you want to
just
know?
what do I want to know? I want to know. I want to know there if it's possible for me to use it in a balanced way, or if I just have to like
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Because for whatever reason, before you even said that, I pulled out the romance deck, which is so weird. So I don't know. We'll see. I literally have no idea why, but let's just see what it has to say about that. Oh, okay. So we have passion and very, very soon in reversed. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now and allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. These things were in reverse. So it's like, the question for you is, what are you substituting that for? Because this says clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So it's like when you're doing that, what are you not doing? What quote unquote void might it be filling for you? And like what passion um, are you not feeding? Because if we're not feeding one thing, we're feeding something else. So it's like, what are you afraid of that you are using that for? Not saying, listeners, that people who
mm,
listen, partake. I'm not saying that. This is Brianna's reading, so don't text me or reach
mhm.
out to me about blah 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 blah. Okay, they asked the question and that's what came up. So that's it. So that's what we have. That we have that question, right? But let's get to no, it's this. Because you said you need to like da 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 da, or is there a way to? Right, I get it. Spirit, what is the answer? that you have about this. So we do have the Three of Swords here. So this is about heartbreak, sadness. Swords are about thoughts. So again, it's like, yeah, understanding that it is for you, it's like a number. It's like a, yeah, it's like it's a heartbreak thing. Yeah. And so we have Sun in reverse, happiness and well-being, and we have Boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. So what this feels very much like is right now at this point, it's not really doing you any good because it's not like a party thing. It's not like a full relaxation. It's like a masking thing. Yeah. Yeah. And we have here, like, we have June, which is interesting. So it's like perhaps by June, you'll be ready to take action. It's not, and you see, like, this is what we're pulling from, right? So we just shuffle until the card falls out. So it's not like anything you even have to act on right away. You are in a grieving process. We have the Three of Swords here. That's obviously a grieving process. So allow yourself to grieve. Now, this deck, in any way that makes sense right now. But by June, because remember, we had all that rebirth stuff too. So it's like you had all, they gave you already so much homework. So
Yeah.
it's like they also don't want you to be overwhelmed. It's like, let's revisit this in June. And she has
Okay.
plants all around her, right? It's like she has plants all around her. So like here we are talking about the plant medicine. Um Another message about that. We are in our shamanic medicine deck. We have the lower world, the past. Yeah. So it's like you're healing. You're healing, you're reconciling, you're dealing with the past. The whole world is grieving, the whole world is reconciling with things. So giving yourself a break. Revisit it in June. Now, is there any type of tea or anything like that that they can drink until then? Oh, okay. So we have regenerate with morel. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna look. I don't know if it's a mushroom. I don't know if it's a tea. I have no idea. But we'll look at that. And
Yeah, what other herbs? I love working with herbs.
oh, you do? Okay, hold on.
I'm trying to get.
Let me show you this. That's why I've been like feeling the urge to grab my other herb deck because you have this herb energy that I didn't, right?
I love plants.
So you should get this deck.
Okay.
You should get this deck. Okay. I know that you're not supposed to have silence on the radio or a podcast. Sorry, people. This is spiritual work we're doing here. So, and I'm dropping cards. So this is the Magical Herb Oracle. The other one that I pulled from, this is a new deck, this Green Witch Oracle. That's this one where the strawberry came from.
Okay.
So this might be a new one, and then the Hedge Witch Oracle deck. That's this one, and where the morel came from. So those are three herb and plant. I also have Flowers of the Night, but I don't feel like being silent to find that one. I can give that to you off air. Okay, so that's this. So yeah. So any one of those. This magical herbs one, I absolutely love. I got this about 3 years ago and I work with it consistently. This is actually by the same, this one and this one, the Green Witch, they're by the same person. And then the Magical Flowers is by the same person as well. So I think those are the only herb decks that I have, but I can't be sure. Okay. Let's see. Oh my God, I opened right up to it. Okay. Regenerate. Let's see. Common morel, yellow morel. Let's see if it's edible. Highly praised as a culinary ingredient. It is a mushroom. Oh, morels. Oh, these are those expensive mushrooms.
I've never heard of
Morels.
them.
Yeah, I have. I have. The morel mushroom is one of the most sought after foragers' delights. Despite many attempts, this is still an undomesticated organism and can only be found in the wild. Morels are rich in vitamin D, iron, and B vitamins. Morels should never be eaten raw, and proper identification is essential. As you know, dear reader, many fungi are friendly, but some can be toxic or even deadly, so please use extreme caution. For an interested forager, I would highly recommend seeking a local expert or group. Oh, this might be, hold on one second, because this book is, let's see, broken up into, because it tells you how to actually like find the plants. So let's see. Yeah, so this is like if you were looking for a morel, which you're not. But you can definitely, like, this is like if you're going out in the wild. It says when looking for morels, you will most often spot them under or around pine. But we don't need all that. We don't need all that. Just look up where you can like get them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For regeneration. So that's exciting. Yeah. And see if you can bring that into your diet somehow
Okay.
for
Cool.
regeneration. And we can look it up offline. So that's what I have for you.
Thank
So it seems
you.
like a lot of this, most of the message was about regeneration, stepping away from the past, preparing yourself to be more in the present and the future. That's what it feels like they set you up for with this reading.
Thank
Very
you.
much. You're very welcome. So let's go ahead and do you feel complete, first of all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to that bridge. And we do that the same way we began by just going ahead and letting your shoulders drop, taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, looking to the right, seeing those beautiful white puffy clouds, blue sky, cool breeze, following those clouds, almost like you're drifting. You find yourself on the bridge, and we both thank our most enlightened ancestors and spirit guides for providing us with all the information that we needed today. And we go ahead and say goodbye and part from them in any way that makes sense to us. And we part from each other, and we both come back into present time. And we see, sense, or imagine a beautiful yellow sun above our head. And that sun has a magnet on it. And we ask that sun to pull our energy back from this conversation, from the computer, from any other conversations we had today. And we pull that sun down through our crown chakra, filling ourselves up with our own energy. We see another big yellow sun above our heads with a magnet on it. And we command that magnet to pull any fragmented parts of ourselves from the past week, the past month, the past year, pulling it back, pulling our energy back, pulling our energy back, pulling that sun down through our crown chakra, filling ourselves up with our own energy. Last time, big beautiful sun overhead, magnet in the center. And that magnet pulls our energy back from any past lives, pulling back the precious knowledge and wisdom, leaving anything else that we no longer need. And we pull that knowledge and wisdom down through our crown, filling ourselves up with our own energy. When I count to 3, we will be back in present time. So 3, wiggling your fingers and your toes. 2, moving your head from left to right. 1, open your eyes.
I feel great.
Yay, me too.
Great.
Me too. So, folks, thank you so much for hanging out. Brianna, thank you for participating in the podcast, being my first full reading on the podcast. So people can see what we do over here at the Magic Hours. Please like, share, subscribe. We are available where any podcasts are. Apple, everybody basically except Spotify. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.